The day my wife threw my suitcase onto the sidewalk, I thought losing my marriage was the worst pain I would ever experience. But I wasn't crying because I had nowhere to go. I was crying because the woman I had spent 12 years believing in looked into my eyes as if I had never mattered. Just hours after signing a $33 million business deal that made headlines across the country, she told me I was no longer good enough to stand beside her. What she didn't know was that 3 days later, when she proudly opened the final contract for the biggest project of her life, she would find one name printed on every single page: mine. Before we continue, if you believe kindness always comes back, second chances matter, and people should never judge someone by appearances, please take a second to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories that touch the heart. For 12 years, I had quietly stood behind my wife while she chased the dream of building one of the fastest-growing construction consulting firms in the city. Everyone praised her confidence, intelligence, and fearless ambition. They saw the awards, interviews, expensive clothes, and luxury office. They never saw the long nights when I stayed awake organizing financial reports, proofreading proposals, fixing spreadsheets, and encouraging her after every rejection. I never wanted recognition because I believed marriage wasn't about keeping score. When one person succeeded, both of us succeeded. At least, that was what I believed. Everything changed after one meeting with an international investment group. They offered her company the opportunity of a lifetime, a massive $33 million development contract that would instantly place her among the most successful entrepreneurs in the industry. Overnight, reporters surrounded our home, business magazines requested interviews, and wealthy investors wanted photographs beside her. The attention transformed her faster than I could understand. The humble woman I loved slowly disappeared behind expensive jewelry, designer dresses, and people who constantly whispered that she deserved someone more successful. Only a week later, she looked around our beautiful home as if it belonged only to her. She said she had outgrown the life we built together. According to her, successful women needed equally powerful husbands, not someone who preferred working quietly behind the scenes. She packed my clothes into 2 suitcases, placed them outside our front door, and shut the door without even looking back. 12 years ended in less than 5 minutes. That night I slept inside my old pickup truck parked near a quiet lake outside the city. I wasn't angry. I wasn't planning revenge. I simply stared at the stars, wondering how success could erase years of loyalty so quickly. My phone remained silent except for messages from a few old friends asking if I was all right. I answered every message with the same words: I'm fine. The truth was I had never felt more invisible. 3 days later, while newspapers celebrated her historic business victory, something unexpected happened inside the conference room where the official contract package was being finalized. As executives proudly reviewed the documents, every page contained a small legal acknowledgement identifying the creator and registered owner of the proprietary project management system that made the entire deal possible. That name was mine. Years earlier, while helping her business survive difficult times, I had quietly developed a specialized construction management framework that dramatically reduced costs and project delays. My wife encouraged me to register it legally for protection, but neither of us imagined it would someday become the heart of a multi-million-dollar international contract. The investors had spent months evaluating the system and made it a mandatory requirement for the partnership. Without its licensed owner approving its commercial use, the agreement could not legally move forward. The conference room reportedly became completely silent. Executives flipped through page after page hoping it was a mistake, but every section referencing the technology carried my registered ownership. For the first time since throwing me out, my wife realized that the quiet man she had dismissed as unimportant had been the invisible foundation supporting everything she had built. Her success had never been created alone. Instead of demanding money or humiliating her publicly, I accepted a meeting with the investors. They expected anger, lawsuits, and impossible negotiations. Instead, I calmly explained that innovation should build opportunities, not destroy lives. I approved the licensing agreement under one condition. A percentage of every future profit generated by the technology would fund scholarships for young engineers who couldn't afford college and provide grants for small family-owned businesses trying to rebuild after financial hardship. The room fell silent once again, but this time because compassion had replaced revenge. News spread faster than anyone expected. People weren't talking about the $33 million deal anymore. They were talking about the men who had every reason to seek revenge but instead chose generosity. Even the journalists who had ignored my existence only days before began telling a different story, one about humility, loyalty, and quiet strength. My wife publicly admitted that pride had blinded her. She confessed that wealth had made her forget the people who helped her climb to the top. Although an apology could never erase the pain, it reminded everyone watching that success means very little if it costs us our character. I accepted her apology, not because trust could instantly return, but because forgiveness freed my own heart from carrying bitterness into the future. Before this story ends, please write one word in the comments: kindness. Let's fill the comment section with hope and remind the world that character is always more valuable than money. As I walked away from the building that afternoon, I didn't feel like someone who had won. I felt like someone who had finally remembered that true success isn't measured by contracts, headlines, or bank accounts. It's measured by the lives we choose to lift when we have every reason to push others down. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating emotional stories that inspire kindness, forgiveness, and hope around the world.
Acá tengo un problema. El primero, Leonardo Valerdi. No me gusta tanto. O sea, no lo tengo tan visto. No quiere decir que no me gusta. No lo tengo tan visto. Iván Tagliafico, banco. Montiel, banco. Es más. Bueno, acá viene la aclaración. El Licha, banco. El Cuti, o sea, Licha Martínez, banco. Cuti Romero, banco. Incluso también banco. Facundo Medina y Nahuel Molina. Medina no me gusta. Pero me gusta más que Senesi. Si bien cada vez que entró no lo banqué para nada, me gusta mucho más que Senesi.